Alright guys, I am back. I will try to see if I can add all these into the same stream. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'll keep all these. I don't know what's going on. But unfortunately the stream cuts in and out. I do apologize. It must be the spirits or something. Um, Actually, I said that as a joke, but if you really think about it, if spirits are actually trying to manifest themselves, they're going to be using energy, and that energy could very well be coming from my phone. I don't know if they could tap into the Wi-Fi. I don't know. I'm actually not on the Wi-Fi. I'm on the LTE. So now that we're back on the stream, this thing was blinking like a little bit more frequently than it was before. But now it seems to have stopped. Now it's coming back again. Now that I'm acknowledging it. And I wish I can have you see it a little bit better. I wonder if I should move this onto this end of this desk. So it's closer to us. Welcome back. Thank you. Let's move this here. All right, it's not going crazy here. If there is something, it will make it blink here just as much as it made there. Right? So we're gonna go on and we're gonna read some horror stories, and these are not my stories. These are stories of people who have stayed in this house in the past. I've read some in a stream before. It looks like these stories. Actually, it's hard to even see the. There we go. It's just gonna be really dark, so please excuse it. If you watch any of my video game streams, you know that I am have much more quality. It's already blinking right now. I'm gonna reference horror stories as far as they go back. Now this is just one particular site that I went to. It's called hauntedplaces.org. Now this website, there's enough light. Good. This woman's story that she put out, and this was November 19th of 2014. She says, "My husband and I stayed at the Lamothe house last weekend, Friday through Monday. I'm gonna read this how they typed it. I'd not heard anything about ghosts there. However, whenever I was in our room alone, which happened to be off and on, we were in New Orleans with about 35 friends and acquaintances. I repeatedly experienced a sensation of movement out of the corner of my eye in the darkened corner, or the feeling like someone was in the room with me. The feeling was strong and not just passing. Our room was 302. No woman in red, no kids laughing, but I certainly didn't feel like I was alone. At breakfast Monday morning, I mentioned this to friends, and I was told that the house was known for being haunted." Now, we are not in room 302. We are in room 102. 302, I think, is... you might like this. I don't know if I can click on that. X-Men's Jazz. Is it relevant to the home? I can give some stories my family has been through. Yeah, and Dovey, if you wanna mention some stories, you're more than welcome to. I'll read them off in the stream. We do these haunted streams on a rare occasion. I'll be honest with you. When I came into this house, I feel like I do have a sense of spirits. I don't know how strong my sense is or how weak it is. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't get tested very often, but I can tell you, and I've told you guys in stories before, the way that I can feel it is I get this heaviness in like the back of my head and my neck, and I kind of feel like this thickness in the air, So it kind of just, I can kind of feel if something's there, right? So we came in here today, and I went up to the second floor, walked up the wooden spiral staircase up to the second floor where the reception was, and I felt that heaviness pushing down on the back of my neck. Now, while that normally tells me that there's something off of the about the area, usually spiritually, honestly, the place was very unbalanced. The floor was not leveled. Things were leaning in and leaning out. Nothing was really straight. So I wonder if it was less of a spiritual thing and more of like a equilibrium thing. So it's something to keep in mind that while I did come in here, I did feel something, but my gut tells me I think it was because everything was unbalanced. Let's go to the next story. I'll pick a story. I want a story about strings, the ring, the Bible, recordings, the bones, and the ladder. You, Indovia, you talking about? Hold on. Oh, you're just saying just pick one of them and tell me whatever you think is relevant to the situation. Which, by the way, this thing is like barely going off now. We're going to keep reading stories, and we're going to try to speak to anyone who's here in a little bit. This is April 14th, 2015. I had no idea until I looked up the hotel online. We stayed this past week through the French Quarter Festival, and I had weird sensations of a couple times, but the laughter I heard late one night, and I thought it was some other guest, but it seemed at an odd hour. It was because most guests would be respectfully quiet. That is so creepy. I am glad I did not know this while I was there. So that one, we heard laughing and cheerfulness actually in this stream. It's New Orleans. We are close to Frenchman Street, which is a less touristy area but is very lively. We listened to a brass band playing on the corner of one of the streets that were very loud and very, very cool. I'll have them in our vlog. It's hard to say that the people who are loud coming in from having drinks and partying coming in here is not a real person and is a spirit. It's just too much to assume that it's something that it's not. What we need to do when we're investigating this type of stuff is we need to understand that I'm watching you blinking, buddy. We need to understand what is real and what is not. And by the way, I'm getting very cold right now. I'm getting very cold. I am next to the windows though, but I feel like this area of the room is getting colder. It's almost chilling. Where is the vents? Okay, we're gonna leave this for a second. There's a vent up here. The front quarter area, it goes left and it goes right. In the back one, it kind of looks like it goes back front and forth. I am feeling cold right now. It's supposed to be 68 degrees in here. We'll check the thermostat later if it gets colder. But right now I am feeling a little bit colder, so I do want to note it while I'm feeling it. So let's go to the next story. Lisa D., July 26, 2016. I stayed here last night in room 119. Again, this is not our room. I felt something caress my leg in bed early this morning, maybe around 4 or 4:30. I thought it was my boyfriend, so I reached, eyes still closed, to hold his hand. I felt it move away from me when I reached for it. I felt around the corner for a couple seconds and opened my eyes. My boyfriend was laying facing the opposite direction from me, sound asleep. I was very tired and I felt this happening, but I definitely, by the way, I think I just heard the air kick off. So I think the air conditioning was on. So that coldness is probably the AC. I was very tired when I felt this was happening, and I was definitely awake, and thankfully the sun would be up soon. I had a lot of fun there, though, with the Uptown New Orleans. but I stay in bed and breakfast all day occasion. So that woman had somebody touch her leg in 119, at least that she felt. Sometimes there could be pockets of air in your blankets, and it'll kind of make you feel that way. I'm waiting for a big blink. Gonna make this thing blink. October 1st, 2016. Back in late 70s, I went there with a friend. We shared a fairly large suite. Oh God, like this one. During the afternoon, I went out touring while she napped. When I came back to the hotel, she said she had been asleep and woke up and heard sounds like people having a party outside the door in the hallway. Plates, glasses, laughing, muffled, but right outside the door. Her back was towards the door. Then a woman appeared next to the bed and reached down to offer her a plate of cake. My friend said that she thought I must have let a lady in the room while she slept. She said no thank you to the cake. She was still hearing a party outside the door when she walked in the room and asked. I asked if she was hungry and ready to go to dinner. She said somebody just offered her cake. She asked about the party. I didn't know what she was talking about. She said, "You weren't here a few minutes ago?" I had been gone for hours. There was no one in the hall when I came in. I heard no party sounds. She said, "Didn't you let the lady with the cake in the room?" I said I hadn't been in the room since I left the first time, and the room was locked when I got back. It left us wondering if the lady walked through the door to share party cake. Andova says, this doesn't pertain to this house, but Andova says, my aunt was woken up one night unable to breathe. She opened her eyes to find a spirit of a woman strangling her. She managed to make enough noise so my Nana could come through the other room and the spirit disappeared. She had a lupus flare and bruises to show for it afterwards. Holy crap. Hopefully she didn't stay there. She might have been dreaming about the story you told. It could be possibly real, but I don't know. I agree with you. We have to take any of these stories with a grain of salt. And this is why we have types of equipment and evidence for us to try to take something that has evidence of what's going on as much as we can. Stories are stories. If you don't have anything to back it up, then it's just a story. You know, she could have very well been dreaming. They could have been partying all week, and she could have taken a nap. Party could have been in her mind, thinking about all her friends. You know what I mean? Could have been a birthday party that was coming up that she was thinking about cake. Who knows? That was a couple years ago. They all still live there. I wouldn't. I'd be like, peace out. Okay, so now we're into 2017. We got two more. They're not as long. We stayed in room 117. Okay, good. These next two ones don't mention our room. That's good. All right, we stayed in room 117 last night, and a little spare bedroom went off by itself. The light in the little spare bedroom went off by itself. So we turned it back on. This kept happening until we finally just let it off until we heard a tapping and noises in our room. The TV came on and off, and the front area kept flickering. Nothing happened during the day. It all started around midnight. That was enough for it to scare me for sure. Well, as of right now, we're at 11:36, and so we've got 24 minutes before it's midnight, so... Another spirit pushed my grandpa off the ladder. That's crazy. Hopefully it was alright. Okay, August 1st, 2017. We stayed in room 405. On July 22nd. We knew nothing about any haunting. Our friend turned on the overhead light off and went to bed. Minutes passed, the light came back on. It turned out again, came on again after a few minutes. My husband turned it off, didn't come back on. Interesting to say the least. We have pics on my phone, not available on my iPad. Okay, that is an electrical thing. It's tough to say. Oh well, the lights flickered. Well, this is a very old house. This is circa. What is this? What does this tell you?